Hello. Okay, so we'll get into transits in just a second. First things first, an update. I know it's been a while since I've talked about this. I'm at 225,000 words for my book. It's like an encyclopedia at this point, and I'm really excited. I'm in the Neptune region, and it's taken forever. But as you can tell, there's a lot of really good information going into this. It's all coming from just pure inspiration from what I've learned and what I'm also learning as I'm putting down what I've learned, and it gets me thinking about other things about these different energies. So I'm really excited about that. That's coming along. For those who want to pre-order it, it's going to be $15, and my PayPal email is williamharrison at live.com. It's taken me a while, but it's going to be well worth it. I really don't know. I still have to edit it. I need to finish it, but I'm at the last like 10% of it, maybe even like 5%, and then I need to edit it. So I'm working on it as fast as I can without sacrificing quality. But yeah, it's getting there, and it's gonna be so worth it. Okay, so now that that's done, oh, and also as always, I'm doing readings. So feel free to get into contact with me. To do that, the info is in the about section on YouTube and the bio section of Instagram. Okay, all that to the side. Let us go forward. Um, so the sun is in Aries for another day and a half or so, about 2 days. It's conjunct Uranus. This is, I think we're seeing this a lot in society with, at least in the U.S. I'd be surprised if it's not happening in other places in the world, though, where there's a lot of social unrest about the quarantine that's going on. People feeling like, you can't tell me what to do, and that's understandable for sure. But at the same time, I think it's wise to make sure that we're not acting too erratically. Sometimes with these energies, we can, especially with Mercury and Aries as well, and with these Aquarius energies, Mars and Saturn, be a little bit too quick to rush to um, embrace our freedom. It's important to keep in mind that this isn't a case of all around the world. It's not a case of people telling people what to do. It's people trying to keep people safe and to keep other people safe so that um, there's as least amount of people out there as possible infecting other people. And ideally, not at all. But of course, practically, we can't. It's impossible to reach that ideal right now. But I just really urge you to connect socially with other people through technology, and that's something that's really great with Venus and Gemini and Mars and Aquarius, is to be able to communicate that way. I have a weekly board game with my friends that I have every Saturday that we're playing board games over online through Tabletop Simulator on Steam. So that's something that could be really good, is talking to other people. Just because there's these restrictions for the public good, for other people to stay alive and stay healthy, that doesn't mean that you can't socialize and still have your freedom. And I think that's something that's really good to keep in mind. Going back to the whole protest thing, is there's so much that we could do while still being safe and still being responsible and taking care of other people's well-being. And with all this Aries energy, especially being creative in some way, that Mars in Aquarius, focusing on something that's really interesting to us. And again, a key part of all of this, it's so funny. I know a lot of people think, oh, that's easy. That's such a simple solution. It's too simple. It works though at every time. Work out. Just move your body. Do push-ups. There's no excuse to not be working out. I can't go to my gym. You have weights. Lift your dog. It's fine. Do push-ups. Do sit-ups. Run around the house. Again, that's what I've been doing. Or in the middle of the night, since nobody's out in the neighborhood, breathing into the air of possible COVID, I'm running around the neighborhood. So it's important to, but even then, running around the house was really nice too. Just, even though it's so silly, still, I felt better. So I really urge everybody to do that as well. It's going to be really important to just get the energy out. The last thing is Moon in Pisces. Moon is in Pisces for today and tomorrow and the first part of Sunday. Um, on the plus side, like every energy, there's gifts and challenges. And the gifts part of it, it's going to make it a lot easier to empathize and to be able to understand other people's emotions, as long as we're seeking to be in tune with our own emotions. On the challenging side, it can be difficult, especially I think later Saturday. Excuse me. When Moon is conjunct Neptune and Pisces, it's tricky because on the one hand, then people can become even more compassionate and empathetic and loving as possible and than before, and be able to understand each other. And for us artists, to be able to express ourselves creatively, or for everybody, we all have an inner artist within us, um, to expose yourself to some beautiful art, whether it's film or visual art online or music or whatever, that's something that's actually for the next 2.5 days. That's something that's really great, but especially for later Saturday when Moon and Neptune are conjunct. But the challenging side is a lot of people are also going to get a little bit caught up in other people's emotions in a more challenging way. So I think that's really important, is to surround yourself with people that aren't stirring up your fear and aren't stirring up your unpleasant emotions. You know, this energy, Moon in Pisces, is very much, the spectrum is like dream or nightmare. So it's understandable sometimes life is hard and it can be tragic and difficult to say the least, and we can't necessarily control circumstances or how other people act at all. We can't control that at all, but we can control how much we're around such individuals, what we're doing, what our reactions are to other people as they speak or do things around us and whatnot. So I think that's important to keep in mind, is if you're feeling really raw emotionally, just take time to be by yourself and again expose yourself to the vibrations, the emotional vibrations, um, that you need to be in a good place. So listen to your favorite music, watch favorite films, or watch new films or whatever. This is a really great time to be able to get into our emotions, and um, it's a really great opportunity to be able to feel in good ways. So overall, it's as always important to channel all of this energy into constructive means, to create, to be responsible, to recognize the big picture of things. It's not just, oh, you know, a lot of people are having temper tantrums of not being able to do what they want to do. And again, it's understandable, but at the same time, it's important that we're really responsible during this time and we're taking care of each other. You know, as they say, we are our brothers and our sisters' keeper. So to minimize risk is really important. Um, and to get all of that Sun and Uranus conjunct energy out in a healthy, constructive way, again, working out, um, growing in ways that are meaningful to you and purposeful and help you to evolve as a person, that's really what people want. That's what people need, rather, at this time. Um, yeah, I know things are difficult, but we're just taking this one step at a time. That's the only way to take it. And that's the only way to keep as many people safe and healthy and living as possible. We're all in this together. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste.